Luka, what should the Bills do with Tyler Bass? He missed another kick tonight, 48 yards. He did make a 50-yarder, but if you watch the league, these kickers, they're making like 55, 60-yarders like it's nothing. To the point where the Broncos and Jets, Will Lutz and then Greg the Leg, both missed 50-plus yarders at the end of the game in horrendous conditions, and it was almost stunning when they both missed. Like, you see kickers now just drilling 55, 60-yard field goals like it's nothing. And for the Bills, who have one of the highest paid kickers in the sport, it still feels like it's a dice roll when he lines up for a 48-yarder. Again, he missed tonight. He's not the reason they lost, not even close. But there are going to be closer games down the stretch. He is probably going to cost them more points down the stretch. Is there a move to be made? Is bringing in someone off the street really going to solve anything? How much patience do you have left with Tyler Bass?
Very little. As you pointed out, around the league, you are watching these kickers hit field goals at such a high rate. I mean, it's funny. Justin Tucker is starting to miss field goals, which is very odd for him. He's historically one of the best kickers of all time, and he's starting to miss kicks. And you don't necessarily hear Ravens fans saying that they need to get rid of him, but it's not like the idea of it. Time comes for everyone eventually. And for whatever reason, I'd love to know what happened to Tyler Bass. I remember sitting recording, Josh, with you when you went to that Thanksgiving game in Detroit and you talked about Tyler Bass being money and how comfortable you were. And I know you referenced it since then as well. And something has happened all of a sudden where he couldn't be further away from that form, from the way he felt at that time and whatever was going on. I mean, when he lined up for that 50-yarder, I was watching with my father-in-law and my wife, and I was nervous. I was very nervous, and it was dead nuts right down the middle. And I out loud just said, "Wow, I'm surprised," because I genuinely did not have a great feeling about it. Fast forward, we get later on in the game where you're like, it's a 3-score game, trying to cut it to 2-score. Although, again, you're not feeling great here. And it never had a chance. And there's got to be something else up there. And I know it's tough. And again, it wasn't far off when he was in form, but there's a time when you need to just cut bait. And coming from a team that already has kind of done that, when you didn't want to get too far down the rabbit hole with your more veteran guys, and while they're declining, you cut bait with all of them. While you're watching Tyler Bass, even though he's not exactly what I'd call an older player, while you're watching him regress and decline in performance, you need to evaluate what's out there now. You have to do it. It would be almost irresponsible if you don't, because as you just said, these misses are eventually going to start costing games. And you cannot let Mike Vanderjagt happen to Josh Allen. You need to figure that one out, and you need to do it fast.
You could make the argument it happened last year. Mike Vanderjagt missed a field goal against the Steelers that would have put the game in overtime the year before Peyton won the Super Bowl, and it wasn't even close. Now, I mean, a lot of us watching that game felt like whether or not he makes a field goal or not, Mahomes is going to go down, but you at least give yourself the opportunity to make a stop, AJ Klein notwithstanding.